This is part 2 of I can rename and recognize a fraction with a denominator of 10 as a denominator of 100. Now, the last lesson we looked at, we were actually turning denominators of 10 into denominators of 100. Well, this time, we're going to do it backwards. And we're going to have a denominator of 100 and somehow turn it into a denominator of 10. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. Alright? So, as you can see, we have a denominator of 100, but we want to go to a denominator of 10. Or what this is saying is we have 60 pennies out of 100 that we want to turn into dimes. Alright? So there's a few ways we can do it. The math way that I would do it is, well, you need to figure out how, if we have 100 pieces here, how do we get to 10? Well, we know we can't multiply or add because that would make this number bigger, and that's not the case. Subtraction doesn't work, so we need to do the opposite of multiplication, which is what we did the last lesson. So we're going to divide here. So I'm going to put a big division sign here. Okay? So what we're asking is, how many 10s go into 100? Well, we know it's 10. Okay, so 100, you're dividing into 10, is 10. And you have to do the same with your top number. 60 divided into 10 would be 6. Okay? Now, one of the little tricks I like to do when I'm going this way is, well, take a look at the difference of these. This has 2 zeros. This denominator has 1. My numerator here is 1, 0. This has nothing. So a little trick that maybe would save you some time is next time, instead of you actually having to do that, all you have to do is take off a 0 from the top and a 0 from the bottom, and that would be 6 out of 10, which is your same answer. Let's try another one. This is kind of a tricky concept. Like I said, this focuses on division or going backwards. Alright, so if we have a number such as 90 over 100, and we want to turn it into a denominator of 10, we first need to ask ourselves, well, how do we get from 100 to 10? Well, we know it's dividing. It's the opposite of what we did last time. And we know it's times dividing by 10. We do know that. Okay, 100 divided by 10 is 10. Now, 90 divided into 10, well, that's easy. That should be 9. Okay? And then, like I said, the trick that I like to do is, as you can see, this has 1, 0. This has 2. This has 0 zeros, and this has 1. All you need to do is just take off a 0, and that's basically what you're doing. You're dividing it by 10, or taking out a 0 from your numerator and your denominator. So, let's say we have 2 wholes, and 20 out of 100. When I see this 100, I'm thinking pennies, and I have 20 pennies out of 100, and I also have 2 wholes. We want to turn that number into something with a denominator of 10. Don't forget you're going to carry your 2 wholes over, because that has not changed. Okay, now we need to ask ourselves, how do we get from 100 to 10? Well, we know it's dividing by 10, which would be 10. 20 divided by 10 would be 2. 2 and 20 pennies, or 20 cents, is equal to 2 and 2 dimes, which is also $2.20. Hopefully I've challenged you during this lesson.